forums. So, presentation of petitions, and I think this is on Zoom. Yes. Yep. I'd now like to welcome Claude Tellick, who is joining us via Zoom to present a petition for the installation of a rainbow crossing in Christchurch.
Tēnā koutou katoa, ko te mihi tuatahi ki ngā mana whenua o tēnei rohi. Ko ngai tahu, ko ngai tiwhiki, ko ngai tuahuriri hoki, tēnā tātou katoa. Ko ingarangi te whakapaparanga mai, engari ko waitaha o te whenua tupu, e noho ana au i te maru o ngā kōhatu whakarakaraka o tamatia pōkai whenua, ko o tākaro te awa e mahia nei aku māharahara ko o tautahi te kāinga. E tauira, me rangatahi au, ko Claude Tellick takangunga, tēnā tātou katoa. Hi everyone, my name is Claude Tellick. I'm a student, a renter, and a proud Cantabrian. I'm speaking to you today because as it stands, our city has a problem. For decades, queer people have been marginalised and made to feel unsafe in our streets. Vulnerable people are harassed, turned away from bars, stared and shouted at as they go about their days. For me and countless other members of the rainbow community, this feeling of being out of place and unwelcome is what growing up is like. Something that for too long has been accepted as just what happens when you're a bit different. Earlier this year, our city remembered the brutal and tragic killing of Alan Aberhart, New Zealand's worst ever homophobic attack. Attacks like the one that killed Alan should serve as a call to action for those with the power to change things. But for far too long, we have let fear and phobia run rampant, putting the lives and livelihoods of queer people at risk. While this may seem like hyperbole to some, this is the reality for so many people living in Ōtautahi. As a city, we now have the opportunity to put a stake in the ground and say enough is enough. Christchurch has a long history of championing social change. From leading the charge for suffrage and labour unions to being the epicentre of the anti-apartheid protests during the Springbok tour, as a city, we've always stood up for the most marginalised within society. But this is not a legacy we can rest on. It is one we must strive to honour and improve. Search for mentions of initiatives aimed at improving the well-being of queer people living in Ōtautahi in the council's draft long-term plan, and you won't find any. In fact, it's hard to find any significant work the council have done to ensure the safety of the LGBTQ+ community. This is something that concerns me and should concern every resident of the city. While the lack of support for the rainbow community is concerning on its own, the implications that this has on the city's culture and the message it sends is even more serious. At a time when the council wants to have more people living and working in the central city, increase economic output, and create a modern, vibrant place, the fact that a significant portion of the population feel unsafe in public puts this at risk. Today, we pride ourselves on being a forward-thinking, resilient, and welcoming city. But in order to put this into action, the council must do everything within its power to ensure that Christchurch is a place where everyone, regardless of their identity or background, can feel welcome and supported. This petition directly addresses something that the council could do very quickly and cheaply to demonstrate that Christchurch is an inclusive place for all. A rainbow crossing in central Christchurch will not only be a symbol of inclusivity and acceptance, but it's also a tangible first step towards creating a safer and more welcoming environment for the queer community in Christchurch. While rainbow crossings are just a splash of colourful paint, that is exactly their purpose. They represent a concrete commitment to action and provide communities with visibility and support. Crossings like the one proposed by this petition have been installed across the country in Wellington, Auckland, Gisborne, Queenstown, and even New Plymouth. What this means is that as it stands, Christchurch is by far the largest city without such a crossing in the country. While such a public display does have potential for backlash and protest, it also provides the city with the exciting opportunity to once and for all declare itself a safe space for the queer community and boldly confront hate and discrimination. While a rainbow crossing barely scratches the surface of some of the deep-rooted causes of prejudice, it represents a start and will provide the queer community with a permanent and visible sign of support. Christchurch is a fantastic city, but in order to show that it is committed to improving the well-being of its marginalised communities, more action has to be taken. A rainbow crossing is a first step and provides a gateway to more bold and ambitious plans to make the city a better place for everyone. Thank you for your time.
Absolutely spot on timing. Thank you very much for that. Well done. Okay, so where do we...
Yes, we have the petition.
We have the petition online, so thank you. Right. Okay, so I'll now move on to number 5. Can I get a mover and seconder to receive the central parking restrictions